So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Aniran here, and today it is time for yet another FIFA 18 career mode experiment, and today I'm going to be bringing you a very interesting one and pretty topical one these days as well, and it's to do with EPL rejects, two of which have been taking the Premier League by storm this season in the form of Kevin De Bruyne and Mo Salah. Both were rejected really by Chelsea, given away to a different league. De Bruyne in the shape of the Bundesliga and Mo Salah in the shape of Serie A because of seemingly poor performances and a lack of development in the Premier League. They've since gone on to become very good this season, so I thought, you know what, how would a team of Premier League rejects do in the actual Premier League? I'll show you the team in a second, but first of all, if you go on to enjoy the video, then make sure to slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. But anyway, enough about that, it's time to take a look at the squad, and it's a pretty interesting one actually, some more under the radar ones, but also some very, very good players in this team. Definitely one that can challenge for the title. First of all, we've got Steve Mondonda in goal here, a man who spent a very short period of time, at Crystal Palace. We've got Mustafi here as well, one of a couple of players actually in this team, or quite a few players actually, that have returned to the Premier League since being Premier League rejects. Shkodran Mustafi was rejected by Everton back in the day when he was a youngster. I think he was released or sold to Sampdoria for pretty much nothing, since become a very good centre-back. Gerard Pique, of course, under Sir Alex Ferguson, was sold by Manchester United to Barcelona as a youngster, and he didn't really look as if he was going to develop at all, and since has become one of the best centre-backs in the world. Same for this man here, Jerome Boateng, who was released or was sold by a different team in Manchester, this time being City, to Bayern Munich, and once again has developed massively, but didn't really make any sort of impact at all in the Premier League, much like Gerard Pique. Into midfield, and Nemanja Matic is a very popular one. He was sold by Chelsea for pretty much nothing to Benfica, became the Portuguese player of the season, and was then bought back by Chelsea for about 12 times as much, so a very costly error. Paul Pogba, very similar situation as well, sold to Juve for either like 700k or literally nothing, brought back for £89 million. Absolutely unbelievable. But he was, in essence, at first, he was a Premier League reject. I don't think he played a single game for Manchester United in the league. Slightly more under the radar one is this man, Oguzhan Özcup, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't think he ever got a game for Arsenal. He came through their youth system. He went back to Turkey again to play for Besiktas, and has become one of the most promising players to come out of Turkey for quite some time. Felipe Luis is over here on the left-hand side. Might be a bit more of a contentious one because he did play quite a few games for Chelsea, but De Bruyne, another who fell victim of Jose Mourinho at Chelsea. This is a big one. De Bruyne and Salah have probably been the best players in the league this season. Mo Salah again completing a trio here of players got rid of, I think, by Mourinho. I think Felipe Luis was another victim of the Portuguese manager, but Mo Salah here on the right-hand side has been in inspired form for Liverpool, but of course once upon a time he was a reject of Chelsea. On the subs bench we've got Seb Coates here and Iago Aspas, both players who failed to make much of an impact at Liverpool, apart from Seb Coates, who scored some mad bicycle kick once, but apart from that he was terrible. They've since grown to be quite good. Andre Kramaric as well has been ripping it up in Hoffenheim this season, but he had a very, very small impact on Leicester, barely anything. When he signed for them. Stefan Savic as well. Was he a City player? He's gone to Atletico and he's developed massively. Loris Karius, brought in by Liverpool from Mainz, but before he played for Mainz, he was a Manchester City youth graduate, but again, never really got any game time and was released by them. Carlos Vela was a youngster at Arsenal. Bit of a Premier League reject, didn't make much of an impact, but since has gone to Spain. Suso, another player got rid of before really he was able to prove himself by Liverpool. He's since moved to AC Milan over in Italy and has had a very, very good season for them. Back to the Manchester United theme, and we've got Memphis Depay, someone who really struggled, but also I think was harshly treated, quite frankly. His performances were okay. You look at some players in the United side, they're only really as good as him, and yet they're being given more time. I think Depay had it was a bit unfair, the treatment on Depay. He's since though gone to Lyon. Nabil Bentaleb has done very well at Schalke since being a bit of a Tottenham reject, really. He's gone on to do very well in the Bundesliga. Same as this man here, Serge Gnabry, who never never really got much of a chance at Arsenal, and even during his loan spells in England, including West Brom, didn't get much of a chance there. But what I want to know from you guys now is, where do you think this team will finish at the end of a Premier League season? It's definitely a strong one and definitely should challenge for the title, but I don't think it is guaranteed. So let me know down in the comment section where you think this EPL team of rejects will finish in a Premier League season. Now though, it is time to get on with the experiment. As per usual, we're going to sim to the halfway stage of the season, see what is going down, then we'll sim to the end, take a look at all the stats and see how the players performed individually. So halfway through this season, and this experiment is perfectly poised for a really exciting final 18 games this Premier League season, or 19 for everybody or certain teams apart from us. It's actually a very, very interesting table because it's getting dominated at the moment by two teams, one of which being us, the team of rejects on 48 points after 20 games of this Premier League season, but very, very much being kept honest by Tottenham Hotspur, who have played 19 games and are currently unbeaten in the Premier League. 14 wins, 5 draws and 0 losses. But now we are going to sim the final half, the second half of the season, to see where this Premier League team of rejects actually finishes overall. The Premier League campaign has come to a close then, and it is the Premier League rejects that come out on top with 84 points at the end of the season. It was very, very close and poised for a very intriguing final half of the season, with Spurs having a game in hand and being like 1 point behind us. In the end, they weren't able to keep their charge going till the very end, losing 6 games in the final half of the season. They were unbeaten at the 19 game mark, but in the second 19 games it unfortunately unravelled a little bit for them, though they still finished second ahead of Manchester United, Leicester and Southampton finishing up in P5. But the team of Premier League rejects then, with the likes of De Bruyne, Pogba, Salah, but also players that aren't back in the Premier League now, the likes of Jerome Boateng and obviously Gerard Pique as well, are coming out on top, just proving how good some of the players are that didn't really perform at first anyway. However, we've seen the results now. We are going to check out some of the stats, the top scorers, and all of that good stuff for this experiment. Goal scorers wise, it's a very interesting one. 2 horse race again, this time for the Golden Boot, like it kind of was for the title, and it is Suso of the Premier League rejects, the man who was sold by Liverpool, I believe straight to AC Milan actually, for pretty much nothing about 4 or 5 years ago maybe. He's gone on to do so well, and he's done well in this experiment as well. I'd love him back, to be honest with you, but he scored 21 goals as the Spaniard. Very much kept honest though by Xherdan Shaqiri of Stoke, getting 20 goals himself. Alexis Sanchez and Paul Pogba of the EPL reject squad getting 14 goals. Further down there you can see Andre Kramaric getting 12. And looking at assists, this time we don't have anyone on the top of the pile, but Suso once again features in the top 5, grabbing 7 assists, only beaten by Romelu Lukaku and Leroy Sané, and levelling with Wayne Rooney of Everton. We've got Meunier, Silva, not entirely sure whether that's Bernardo or David there. Then Dos Santos, Hazard, Choupo-Moting and Gylfi Sigurdsson rounding out the top 10. Again, we see Pogba featuring from the EPL reject side. Of course, he's doing a great job for United in his second season back in the Premier League, but obviously at first he was a bit of an EPL reject and a Sir Alex Ferguson reject at that. Radamel Falcao, another player who struggled at Manchester United at one point. He was 19th in the assist list, getting 4 across the season as well. And then looking at clean sheets, it was Steve Mondonda in the end that played the majority of the games across the season. He grabbed 12 clean sheets, beaten though by Thibaut Courtois, who earns the Golden Glove for 14 clean sheets for Chelsea. Kasper Schmeichel also gets 12. Then behind Mondonda, Hugo Lloris, Jack Butland, Jordan Pickford and David De Gea, with Cech, Forster and Lodigin rounding out the top 10. Did Loris Karius get any? Yes, he did. The ex-Manchester City youth product getting 5 clean sheets across the season as well. That's probably more than he's going to get in real life, and he probably didn't even play that many games in this experiment. Finally, as per usual though, we'll take a look at the player of the competition and team of the competition. Based off the stats, it's no real surprise to see that Suso, having grabbed 21 goals across the season, and I think it was 7 assists, wasn't it, as well, featuring the top 5 of both top goal scorer and top assist maker, he earns the player of the competition. Very interesting one. Definitely wasn't expecting him to be the most influential player in this side, but the Spaniard wins the player of the competition for the Premier League across this season, perhaps proving Liverpool were wrong to get rid of him. And as you can see, the team of the competition is announced as well. As far as the EPL rejects are concerned, Seb Coates interestingly manages to get a spot in the team, so whether he managed to play ahead of one of Jerome Boateng or Gerard Pique across the season, I don't know. Suso and Andre Kramaric also unsurprisingly feature, though no Paul Pogba. Jack Butland, Ryan Bertrand, Azpilicueta, Lichtsteiner of Leicester, who clearly signed from Juve, Alexis Sanchez, N'Golo Kante, Michael Carrick and Harry Kane are the other players making the team of the season. But that then is going to be your lot for this experiment. We have proved that a team of Premier League rejects can, in fact, ironically, win the Premier League. Just proving that you should never judge a player too quickly. Always give them a little bit of time, because you might find yourself buying them back for 10 times as much. I'm looking at you, Chelsea and Manchester United. But obviously Liverpool, my team, we're very, very, very bad at this as well. The likes of Suso, etc. There's plenty of other players that didn't even feature in this video that we've got rid of and that other teams have got rid of. Maybe I could do a second one of these with some more of those. If you want to see that, then drop it down in the comments section. Or if you have any other ideas for experiments I can do on this channel, then drop them down below as well. Whilst you're at it, you can slap a like on the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe, of course, if you are new to the channel. You can follow me on social media too. My Twitter handle is @theofficialfng, links to that are down below, and my Instagram handle is exactly the same, @theofficialfng over on Insta too, and you can check a link out to that in the description as well. But it has been an absolute pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Yo, Massappels. I roll out with some monsters. Looks like your team and you watchers. I do not roll with imposters. Sound like the man in the Oscars. I'm drunk off Henny and Fosters. I have a career, I am jobless. This bitch f me so hard, I might just end up unconscious. I like girls in lingerie, especially if it is crotchless. Bitch, I am the bigger picture. There is no way you can crop us.